Well, it says please rise, but you're already standing for the national anthem and the posting of colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? File out, file out.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the occasion of the 220th commencement of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, it is an honor and a privilege to present to you our future, the RPI class of 2026. So I ask that you remain standing for the invocation, which will be offered by Reverend Jordan Lenehan.
Please bow your heads. O source of sparks, of hustle, grind, and grace, we pull up here all gathered in this space. No cap. These years were tests of mind and will, and now you rise, refined, resilient still. You coded dreams and built from late night stress, turned I'm so done to quiet flex success. Through labs and logs, through moments feeling low, You proved low-key just as far as you could go. Because we are young but wiser than before, and started from the bottom, now you soar. I still haven't found what I'm looking for, but that's the vibe, to seek, to learn, explore. When systems crash or life goes off the rails, don't ghost your goals or dip when efforts fail. Just hear the beat, we will push through. Stay locked in, keep it real, and build what's true. Let passions lead, let ethics stay on point. Design a world where all can share the joint. No shortcuts here, just skill that you refine. Main character, energy by design. And when you doubt, just run it back, replay. This is gonna be the best day anyway. Not just a mood, but mindset you sustain through every loss, each comeback, every gain. So bless this crew, their brilliance and their art, big brains, big dreams, and even bigger heart. Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute graduates of the class of 2026, go out and change the world. Amen.
Well, Father Jordan, that's a tough act to follow. Please be seated. So good morning and congratulations, RPI class of 2026. Wow, what a day. I believe commencement day is the most important day at RPI. I know you're excited. I know the RPI faculty and staff that got you to this point are so proud of what you have accomplished, and clearly your families and friends are thrilled. Today we're here to celebrate you. But let me ask that we take a moment to thank those that got you here. Graduates, please stand and give your supporters and fans a huge round of applause. Well done. You're ready to graduate. You know, 4 years ago, at the convocation ceremony for many of you, I welcomed you to RPI with a confession of my own. I was also a freshman for the second time. I first arrived here in 1977 as a 17-year-old from northeastern Pennsylvania, and when I left in 1981, I never expected to come back as your president. But there we were, in the fall of 22, all of us, you and me, new to this version of RPI, learning the campus, getting to know each other, and figuring it all out together. And for today's graduate students and architecture grads, it's been a pleasure to get to know you as well. At that convocation in 2022, Lynn and I also met 3 members of the class of 2026 that befriended us and over the past 4 years have helped us understand the experiences you are having. Lynn and I want to thank Bailey, Addison, and Alex for their friendship. And I can now officially embarrass my nephew, Michael Wall, of the class of 2026. And yes, Mike, I will sign your diploma, Uncle Marty. But at that convocation, I mentioned that I had spent the summer of 2022 on a listening tour around campus, asking people what they loved about RPI. The second most popular answer, right behind the quality of the education, was the collegiality, the willingness to collaborate across every border. I told you then what I had already observed, that professors' own research had been spurred by the interests of their students. The learning here is mutual. I urged you to attack college with a sense of adventure, to explore the fascinating city of Troy, to get into labs and research centers as soon as you could. And I told you something I meant completely. Your voice is wanted and appreciated here. I still mean it. And this graduating class of 2026 has proved the importance of your voice over and over again. Maybe you remember October 6th, 2022. My formal investiture was that afternoon at MPAC. a very serious academic affair. But then we went down to 86 Field for a block party. This class, in its infinite wisdom, promptly renamed it the Marty Party. I stood on that stage and spoke to students as your freshly inaugurated president. And I remember thinking, these students are awesome. In my investiture, I spoke about what I hope to build here with you, an RPI that leads in education, research, translation of ideas, and regional engagement. I said we needed to be one Rensselaer in spirit. I also joked that students kept asking me for a system of tunnels under the campus for slush avoidance. I don't know that we're going to be able to do that. You brought a vibrancy and creativity to campus life that has been a genuine joy to witness. You dove into the Big Red Freakouts and the Dutchman's Shoe Games with a kind of enthusiasm that turns a tradition into folklore. And you didn't stop there. You found ways to make this campus your own, to celebrate it, to lean into its quirks and its hills and its particular brand of intensity. In fact, just 17 days ago, you held a finals scream. And being proper nerds, you recorded that you achieved 115 decibel noise level. You consistently demonstrated an RPI instinct as old as the institution itself, and I am glad it is still very much alive in you. You celebrated RPI's bicentennial with genuine joy, 200 years of first. You stood here under a drone light show in the Troy sky. You honored the legacies of the Brooklyn Bridge and the Ferris wheel, including riding on a Ferris wheel on Anderson Field. You learned that being at RPI means inheriting something extraordinary, and that your job, each generation's job, is to add to it. And then, on April 5th, 2024, something happened inside the Voorhees Computer Center that had never happened on any university campus in the world. We unveiled the first IBM Quantum System 1 installed in a university, a machine that hums quietly inside stained glass windows. It even withstood an earthquake that day. It's not just hardware. It is a declaration that RPI intends to be at the frontier of the 21st century computing, training the quantum workforce of the future. This class was here when that happened, and some of you are already contributing to that work. And then came April 1st of this year. Commander Reed Weissman, RPI class of 1997, climbed into the Orion capsule and led Artemis II, the first crewed mission to the moon in more than 50 years. He and his crew traveled farther from Earth than any humans in history. Right here on campus, the Lowe Center was packed watching the liftoff, and all over campus, there were watch parties. When that rocket lifted off, the room in the Lowe Center exploded with excitement. It sounded like a Big Red Freakout. We did it again when we watched them splash down in the Pacific Ocean on Friday night. We were all so proud because RPI was on that mission. Reed commanded it, but two of our recent graduates, Maeve Marshall and Paul McKee, were at mission control at the Johnson Space Center, guiding the spacecraft in real time. RPI has had a hand in every chapter of American space exploration, from the Apollo program to Artemis. For us, the stars are not the limit, they're the destination. You also navigated genuine difficulty. The Hamas attack on October 7th of 2023 tested every university community in this country. But here at RPI, I watched this community respond with something that is not easy and not loud, real listening and real consideration for classmates whose fears and experiences were different from your own. When international students in our community came under threat, you stood with them. RPI will continue to do everything in our power to protect our students because a university that cannot welcome the world cannot lead it. What you modeled, thank you. What you modeled here, the ability to hold difficult conversations with honesty and empathy, is exactly what the world needs right now, and exactly what our founders hoped this education would produce. Class of 2026, you are graduating into a world of genuine uncertainty in geopolitics, in technology, in the nature of work itself, but you have been trained at an institution that has operated at the frontier of hard problems for 2 centuries. Amos Eaton and Stephen Van Rensselaer turned education upside down in 1824 because they believed learning should be active, collaborative, and aimed at real problems. You are the latest chapter in that story. Go write the next one. And one last thing. We, as an administration, have a graduation gift for you, which is today you can walk across the JEC walkway. But I encourage you to do it today, because on Monday it goes under construction again. We hope to see you often on this campus. Please come back. The campus needs your voices, your energy, and your stories. It will always be your home. Congratulations, class of 2026. I cannot wait to see what you build. Over the years, RPI has honored nationally and internationally recognized individuals who exemplify the achievements, the ingenuity and imagination, the entrepreneurship, and the innovation that have been hallmarks of this great university. And today, we will award honorary degrees to 2 people who exemplify the willingness to take on the greatest of challenges, to disrupt paradigms, and to change the world. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce Christine Ann Miller, a transformative leader in the life sciences whose career exemplifies what we mean when we talk about building institutions that last. Christine most recently served as president and CEO of Melinta Therapeutics, where she did something genuinely difficult. She took a company facing real headwinds, a pure-play antibiotics business in a challenging market, and rebuilt it into a diversified, resilient, and profitable organization. Under her leadership, Melinta nearly doubled its revenue, secured multiple FDA approvals, expanded its portfolio through licensing and acquisitions, and ultimately achieved a successful strategic acquisition in 2025. That is not a turnaround story, that is a transformation. Before Melinta, Christine held senior leadership roles in multiple pharmaceutical firms, driving portfolio transformation, product launches, and growth across both branded and generic businesses. She also served on the boards of Iveric Bio, BioNJ, and the Antimicrobial Working Group, and contributed her counsel to the Healthcare Businesswomen's Association and the Lighthouse Guild. What makes Christine's leadership distinctive is a philosophy that will resonate with this graduating class. She believes that strong performance follows strong teams. Her approach is grounded in accountability, clarity, and a deep investment in the people around her, empowering them to lead with ownership and purpose. In a field where stakes are patients' lives, that is not just good management, it's a moral commitment. I am delighted that the class of 2026 has the opportunity to hear from Christine Ann Miller.
Ms. Christine Ann Miller, as an accomplished leader in the global pharmaceutical industry, you have dedicated your career to advancing health and improving lives around the world. Your foundation in chemical engineering at RPI led you first to Merck, where your early work as a chemical engineer and procurement analyst gave you a deep understanding of how complex systems translate scientific discovery into the medicines that reach everywhere. Your leadership across Actavis and Sandoz, overseeing research and development, operations, supply chain management, and directing more than 50 product launches helped ensure that essential medicines reached the patients who needed them at scale and reliability that the global health demands. Your leadership as president and chief executive officer at Melinta Therapeutics guided a critical supplier of pharmaceuticals through financial distress and backed stability. That stability saved lives and remained available to patients at critical moments. Your career stands as proof that operational discipline and strategic vision applied with purpose can help ensure the medicines that science discovers reach the people that they are meant to help. Christina Ann Miller, for the leadership in stabilizing, transforming complex pharmaceutical organizations, for your ability to build operational discipline in moments of financial and organizational uncertainty, for your commitment to ensuring that essential medicines reach patients even in challenging conditions.
In accordance with the laws of the state of New York and with the approval of the Board of Trustees, RPI proudly confers upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Engineering and invests you with the hood signifying this degree.
President Schmidt, Provost George, my fellow honorand, Dr. Dario Gil, members of the Board of Trustees, distinguished faculty, administrators, alumni, proud families, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2026. Good morning, everyone. I am deeply honored to receive an honorary doctorate of engineering from RPI today, and I want to thank God for his grace and just support and guidance throughout my entire journey, my family for the love and support that make moments like this possible. Now, I have to be honest, what a privilege it is to receive this degree without having to retake organic chemistry. Okay. Because let me tell you, the first time around, I got a 45 on my first exam, and that was passing on the curve. So today's honor feels just a little bit more civilized, I have to say. I want to start by telling you something that I've never forgotten. I have exactly one photograph of my graduation here. I actually brought it here today, just this one here. And it's because my dad lost the film and the camera. We didn't have smartphones back then. So for all you parents out there fumbling with your phones, please double check, make sure you're backing up to the cloud, right? Maybe 3 if you're like me. But even without the photos, I remember the feeling of walking across the stage as if it were yesterday. And what I felt wasn't just pride or excitement. It was the overwhelming weight of transition. That specific, slightly terrifying feeling of standing on the edge of everything that comes next. I recently spoke with a senior here, a chemical engineer, so big up to all the chemical engineers. No? Yeah? Okay. And she told me she shared the same feeling. Someone had told her that the majority of the knowledge and skills that she would need in the workforce would be learned on the job. And I could see that this idea felt a little daunting. And she wanted to know what I thought. And yes, you will continue to learn throughout your career. We all do. But what I told her is this: the most important things you will need to be successful are exactly what RPI has already taught you. RPI taught you how to think, how to solve complex problems, how to work through uncertainty when there isn't an obvious answer. Those critical thinking skills are what will define your success long after the technical details change. That is the value of an RPI education. And it's also why RPI is hard, genuinely hard. I took classes with acronyms that sounded more like error messages than engineering courses, like CRUD or chemical reactor design. I hear you guys call it CRD now, but trust me, we called it CRUD for a reason. I sat in lectures taught by professors who literally wrote the textbooks in my hand. RPI doesn't just prepare you, it forges you. So today, I want to leave you with 3 things to carry with you as you make this transition. First, you are more resilient than you know. There is no problem that you will encounter in your career that you are not equipped to solve. The rigor of this institution did not just teach you engineering, science, or business, it taught you how to think, how to persevere through things that seem impossible until they aren't. I know the world that you're graduating into feels a little bit turbulent, but uncertainty is not the enemy of a bright future. It is simply the terrain. And you already know how to navigate difficult terrain. Second, you are already a leader. You cannot survive RPI with that alone, and that is by design. You have worked on teams where you had to figure out how to communicate, how to show up for each other, how to defend what you built together. You've learned how to leverage the strengths of people around you, especially when they don't share your same background or language. That intentionality is rare, and it will define your career more than any single credential. The third and most important, chase your purpose. Don't just pursue a title or a salary. Pursue the work that makes you feel like you are exactly where you're supposed to be. When you are doing the thing that you're meant to do, you will know it. And when you know your why, you will find the resilience to persevere through any how. Purpose is a fuel that keeps you going when the road gets hard. Class of 2026, be confident. You are ready. You are equipped, and you have everything you need. Congratulations to the class of 2026.
It is now my honor and pleasure to introduce Dr. Dario Gil, Undersecretary for Science at the United States Department of Energy, and one of the most consequential figures in science and technology policy in the world today. In his current role, Dario oversees the nation's largest federal sponsor of basic research in the physical sciences, supporting all 17 national laboratories of the United States, and responsible for programs spanning advanced computing, quantum science, fusion, nuclear and high-energy particle physics, and biological and environmental research. He is the department's principal advisor on science and technology. That is an extraordinary portfolio, and Dario brings to it a background that few could match. Before his appointment at the Department of Energy, Dario served as IBM's Senior Vice President and Director of Research, where he led one of the world's largest and most influential corporate research organization. He was elected to the National Academy of Engineering for his contributions to artificial intelligence and quantum computing. Under his leadership at IBM, the company became the first in the world to build programmable quantum computers and make them universally available through the cloud. And he brought that vision here. In April 2024, Dario stood in the Voorhees Computer Center and helped us unveil the world's first IBM Quantum System 1 installed on a university campus. He spoke that day about something I believe deeply, that the greatest advances in science cannot happen in isolation, that universities and research institutions and industry must build an ecosystem together. RPI is part of that ecosystem, and Dario helped put us there. As a former member of our Board of Trustees, he brought not only his formidable expertise, but a genuine commitment to this institution and its students. It is a privilege to call him a partner and a friend. I'm thrilled that today's graduates will have the opportunity to hear from Dr. Dario Gil.
The Honorable Dr. Dario Gil, as a visionary scientist and global technology leader, you are helping to define the future of computing and discovery. Your leadership of IBM Research, one of the world's largest and most influential corporate research labs, has advanced innovation across artificial intelligence, quantum computing, semiconductors, and hybrid cloud technologies. Your role in guiding IBM to build the world's first programmable quantum computer and make them accessible through the cloud has opened new frontiers in science and industry, bringing a previously unimaginable computational possibilities within reach. Your commitment to building collaborative ecosystems has united the brightest minds across academia, industry, and government in pursuit of discoveries that none could have achieved alone. Your past service as a member of the RPI Board of Trustees and your continued advocacy for quantum computing in education have helped inspire and prepare the next generation of scientists and engineers and strengthened RPI's role at the forefront of this transformative field. Your service to the nation, including leadership on the National Science Board and your current role as Undersecretary of Science at the United States Department of Energy, where you lead the Jennison mission to unite the nation's supercomputers, artificial intelligence systems, and quantum computers, reflects your dedication to ensuring that innovation serves society and strengthens the future of scientific enterprise. Honorable Dr. Dario Gil, for your leadership at the forefront of quantum computing and artificial intelligence, for your dedication to educating and inspiring the scientists and engineers of tomorrow, for your vision in shaping technologies that will transform industries and improve lives.
In accordance with the laws of the state of New York and with the approval of the Board of Trustees, RPI proudly confers upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Science and invests you with the hood signifying this degree.
Well, good morning, President Schmidt, members of the Board of Trustees, and now Dr. Christine. Thank you for this extraordinary honor. RPI faculty, distinguished guests, and above all, class of 2026, congratulations. Look around you, your proud fellow classmates, full of smiles and joy, and the even more proud family members, friends, and mentors. In many cases, you are an intergenerational dream come true. This is the magic of this great university. For over 200 years, it has been an accelerator of dreams. And what a time to have big dreams. When we look up into space, thanks to our newest and most exquisite optical telescope, the NSF DOE Vera Rubin Observatory, we're capturing more images of celestial bodies in our first year than all prior optical observations combined. We had to build the world's largest digital camera to do that, revealing every cosmic change as it happens in near real time. We will detect supernova early, track asteroids for planetary defense, and identify rare interstellar objects. We seek to unravel the biggest puzzles in science, from the nature of dark matter and dark energy to the universe's ultimate fate. When we look down into the micro and nano worlds, we have demonstrated that Feynman was right. There is plenty of room at the bottom. We can now build chips with over 100 billion transistors, each manufactured with atomic control. We used to be impressed with Moore's law. It now feels almost quaint. AI supercomputers have improved by 40 million times in the last 10 years alone. We are in an era where new laws are being written, and some of them need to carry your name. I'm convinced that your RPI education and ingenuity will help us build AI supercomputers that are 100 million times more powerful in the next 10 years. Some of you will say, that's not even a big enough exponential, and will pursue the mission of designing and building fault-tolerant quantum supercomputers. Those scale as the power of 2 to the n, where n is the number of qubits. And I don't need to tell RPI graduates how big that number can get. Hundreds of you have had the chance to access a a state-of-the-art quantum computer here on campus, where you were able to conduct experiments inside a beautiful chapel with superconducting qubits that operate at 15 millikelvin, one of the coldest places in the universe. And yet, some of you will want to go hot in the pursuit of designing and building fusion power plants. In a monumental achievement in 2022, scientists at the Lawrence Livermore National Ignition Facility created a miniature star on Earth for a fraction of a billionth of a second. To trigger fusion, researchers fired 192 of the world's most powerful lasers at a tiny fuel pellet, the size of a peppercorn, containing isotopes of hydrogen and creating conditions more extreme than the center of the sun, with a temperature of over 100 million degrees and a pressure of hundreds of billions of atmospheres. The dream of near-infinite energy is being pursued by dozens of fusion ventures across the United States and the world, and we need you to make them a success. I could go on and give you dozens of examples of grand challenges we need to solve to build a better world. What they all have in common is that they're very hard problems. They will challenge even the most brilliant of you. In fact, they are so hard, you will need thousands of you working together and all the AI you can imagine to tackle them. The biggest advice that I have for all of you today is to ignore all the AI luminaries and prognosticators predicting the obsolescence of your expertise and the end of work. You know that there is a big difference between saying you're going to solve something and actually getting it done. The same is true for AI. They tell us that AI will cure all diseases, give us infinite energy, take us into space, and so on. My bet is actually on you. It is you, in the pursuit of what is hard and noble, that will get that done. We will never run out of problems to solve in the world, and we need your expertise and your talents more than ever. I have no doubt that you will go faster and have an even greater impact with the help of AI. But you will also go faster by collaborating and helping each other. You will go faster with the support of our science agencies and our capital markets. You will go faster thanks to the rule of law. You will go faster because your families and friends love you. I end by congratulating you, your families, and the extraordinary RPI faculty and staff. May this day be the beginning of careers full of purpose and impact. And remember to travel broadly, to eat well, to listen to as much Bach as possible, and to have loads of fun along the way. I wish you all the very best. Adelante.
During their time at RPI, 23 graduates successfully completed advanced military, naval, and aerospace studies and were commissioned as officers through their respective ROTC commissioning ceremonies. Their names are listed on page 43 of the commencement program. Will the newly commissioned officers present please rise? We also invite all veterans and members of the military within the extended RPI family to stand and be recognized. Please join me in applauding these outstanding graduates and all who have dedicated themselves to service. Thank you. The J. Eric Johnson Prize is awarded to the senior who has achieved the highest academic record while completing at least 3 years of study at RPI. This year, 23 graduates completed their undergraduate studies with a perfect 4.0 grade point average. Before presenting the 2026 J. Eric Johnson Prize, I'd like to recognize and congratulate those exceptional seniors whose names are listed on page 30 of the commencement program. And now, please join me in welcoming to the stage the recipient of the 2026 J. Eric Johnson Prize, Isabel McCall.
I would like to now present to you, make sure I get this right. Yeah. Milena Jonas Beng, a class of 2023 graduate with a master's degree in architectural science and a class of 2026 PhD graduate in architectural sciences, who will speak on behalf of the graduate student degree candidates.
Oh my God. Good morning, everyone. We did it. And it's such an honor to be here today. And I have to say, the Milena of 4 years ago would never believe that one day she would stand on this stage representing all the grad students. Back then, I could barely speak English, and I would hide in my lab to avoid human contact. And that's also what makes this so difficult. It is impossible for one person to fully represent all of us, because each of us had had a different journey. We come from different places, different fields, different struggles, and different dreams. We are all unique, but even if our paths were not the same, I can say this with certainty. I'm deeply proud of all of us. When I first arrived at RPI, one of the first things I noticed was the red signs around the campus asking, "Why not change the world?" And if I'm being honest, my first reaction was, that sounds a little performative, or maybe even a little pretentious. But standing here today, I understand those words differently. Because maybe change the world does not always mean doing something loud or famous, like going to the moon. Sometimes it means changing your own world. And I think that's exactly what happened to many of us here. In Brazil, where I'm from, we often say that education is something no one can ever take away from you. It's priceless, and it's always worth it. And now, after all the long nights, doubts, papers, experiments, meetings, deadlines, and sacrifices, we leave here with something permanent. We leave changed. As we begin this new season of life, yes, there is uncertainty ahead, but it's a different kind of uncertainty from the one we had when we first arrived. Back then, we were wondering if we could do this, and now we know that we can. Of course, none of us got here alone, so I want to thank the professors and advisors who challenged us and guided us, the staff and the offices, including Colleen, OGE, and ISSS, who supported us behind the scenes, because of the friends, the communities, and the clubs that made this journey lighter, richer, and more joyful. In my own case, I want to thank my grad council family, especially. And I want to thank the people who loved us through this process, our parents, our families, our spouses, our friends, and our kids. My parents, Luis and Eliane, traveled abroad for their very first time to be here today. They may not fully know what a PhD was, but they knew it mattered to me, and they believed in me anyway. so I changed their world. And to my husband, Marcelo, thank you for leaving your life behind in Brazil and building this dream with me here. We changed our world. Many of us here are the first in our families to earn a master's or a PhD. We are becoming part of an incredibly small minority worldwide. Many of us here are the first to move abroad, the first to live in another language, the first to imagine a different future for ourselves. And whatever your story is, I know this, it took courage to get here. So today, let's celebrate not only what we achieved, but who we became along the way. Congratulations, class of 2026, and wherever life takes us next, we may continue changing the world, beginning with our own. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Milena. That was lovely.
Okay. President Schmidt, these advanced students have continued their graduate studies and research and have completed the requirements for their respective doctoral degrees as prescribed by the graduate school and approved by the Board of Trustees. In addition to their studies, they have successfully passed different examinations and have presented and defended dissertations that make fundamental contributions in new knowledge in their fields. The faculty present them to you at this time as candidates for the doctoral degree and requests that you confer the appropriate degree upon each of them. These are the highest academic degrees the faculty may recommend. By completing the requirements for the doctoral degree, you have earned an honored place in the community of scholars whose members welcome you and anticipate your contributions to the development of knowledge in your chosen field.
In accordance with the laws of the state of New York, upon the recommendation of the faculty and with the approval of the Board of Trustees, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, I proudly admit each of you to the doctoral degree with all the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining. Our heartiest congratulations and best wishes for successful careers in your respective fields.
Lily Donaldson. Yay! Aquilina Jonas Bate. Alan Alberto Gomez Salgado. Noah Phillips. Christopher Althoff. Gabriel Medina Keith. Victor Fernandez Maria Fade. Avnish Grove. Charlene Megan Buell. Yulia Donishevsky. Evelyn Grace Rubier. Elkin Alejandro Cruz Camacho. Sharmista Dato. Yue Mushansky. Shamil Hussein. Christopher Jarrett. Maxim Kolyachenko. Mohdad. Brandon Rosick. Lynn Tran. Chico Waddle. Justin Park. Samantha Pryor. Miles Kimberly Matsuda, Molly Noel, Grace Rosalo, Michael Robert Kelly, Neha Du, Joshua Scott Quinton, Tianhong Wang, Paul Remnick, Cooper Nelson, Vignesh Ramakrishnan, Sabrina Elizabeth Kosnick, Diego Machado Reyes, Nabil Ibtihaj Nizam, Shinrui Song, Nikita Waskiewicz, Cameron Dispirito, Andrew Kokot, Matthew Murray, Xiao Yang Wang, Yunkin Olivia Ju, Chen Long Wu,
Yunshu Wen,
Rui Xia, Zirui Yan, Amir Begovic, Anmol Dwivedi, Anandita Ghosh, Zhengye Yang, Mengdang, Yatin Zhou, Shaheen Hassan, Wei Li, Young Lo, Varad Mahajani, Sadiq Shahriar Nishat, Apurva Anjan, Mithun Kumar De, MD Rashef Mahbub, Rene Mai, Asim Pratap Subedi, Amog Wasti, Chi-Yun Cheng, Jake Fei, Huihua Yang,
President Schmidt, indicative of the breadth of study now prevalent at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute is the variety of degrees presented to this group in the fields of architecture, engineering, humanities, arts, and social sciences, management and business administration, science, and information technology. President Schmidt, the candidates standing have met the academic requirements of the graduate school, and the faculty recommends them to you for the master's degree in their respective fields.
In accordance with the laws of the state of New York and upon the recommendation of the faculty with the approval of the Board of Trustees and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, I proudly admit each of you to the master's degree with all the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining. Congratulations and best wishes.
Colin Gaines, Abigail Light. Isaiah Vincent Khalil Mercer. Matthew Ripley. Marina Robles. Monkey Young. Ahossein Habib. Rock Claps. Natalie Cristancho. Isabel Coutu. Marcos Devarier. Blessing Ade. Joseph Cannon. Ritika Divekar. Oluwapamilerin Amuda. Isabel Bateman. Ardit Barisha. Vivan Bindal. Cooper Carr. Nimar Cisneros Figueroa. Nelson Enrique Cordova. Eleanor Graff. Christopher Kelly. Oravan Bomadipati.
Brandon Ngu.
Christian Liderman. Nicole Lee. Alistair McBrien. Joseph Richards. Rohan Thuma.
Alyssa Yanta.
James Ziola. Manish Arha. Thomas Boynton. Michaela Dupuis. Kimberly Gomez. Anisha Gurumurthy. Marcia Hood. Adoro Nicole Nwizu. Christopher Oakley. Nadim Dadkan Bismillahon Patan. Tracy Paul. Peter Raggio. Heather Showers. Karen Toivonen. John Thomas Valandry. David Ryan Wallach.
Peng Yang. Valerie Bubel.
Padraig Connolly.
Scott Dockett.
Nicolas Gagnon. Elizabeth Gonzalez. Aidan McCauley. Abigail Peterson. Bailey Cross. Anthony Fausto. Jonathan Friedrich. Sydney Hannert. Sonia Joseph. Ishida Pandey. Chanel Khan. Daniel Kurtman. Alexander Litchfield. Nasir Miller. Jacob Edwards. Dante Moitibo. Ryan Hickey. Alexander Orr, Suravan Parakala, Alexa Shaw, Elon Smoller Eisenberg, Catherine Williams, Paridhi Goyal, Tushar Sethi, Sushmitha Chitani, Benita Chinameram,
Davy Renoir,
Olatunde Timelihin Mojisola, Kenechukwu Nwachukwu, Yuyong Wang,
Daniel Chappell,
Most Asma Akhtar, Austin Kilgore, Timothy Lund, Caleb Smith, Aliyah So,
Lorelei Straight,
Clinton Stutzman,
Maria Berlingeri,
Surya Krishnakumar, Faizan Ali, Aditya Bachina,
Zachary Bonagora,
Caleb Carr, Pavya Chavali, Devin Yasith De Silva, Aditya Dodapkar, Kyle Eng, Cynthia and Jolie Marie Gonzalez, Timothy Grashaw, Kyle Harsham, Aidan Colleen Hoover, M.D. Zabirul Islam, Zenya Kusid, Byungyeon Kim, Kieran Koch Matthews, Tyler Layton,
Isabel Lieber,
Yeah, you're doing good.
Sirajam Munira, Smayananda Kumar, Justin Otteson, Nikul Patel, Ian Rudy. Aidan Westfall, Aidan Woodruff, Joshua Youngbar, William Jung, Pierre Baza, Mark Bell Isle, Timothy Leonard,
Maya Nambishan,
Ethan Richards, Elizabeth Ameke, Jolie Dolan, Nicholas Butler, Alejandro Lopez Olivari, Matthew Ireland, Gavin McKenzie, Sammy Nassau. Dmitria Rangelovich. Kieran Schuler. Fadia Thompson. William Wygant. Joseph Bowers.
Ava Goucher.
Ryan Ing.
Ash Majensky.
Ashay Nagrani. Nathan Wynn. Ryan Ribetti. Bibek Shrestha. Saida Akhtari. Damla Chichek. Fatema Amiri. Kira Doherty. Grace Garman. Kayla MacDonald. Suchita Emily Ganeshan. Soma Patra. Philip Anir. Molly Atkinson. Jisong Jung. Kim On Win. Peter Oyefolu. Maverick Brendley. Zev Ginsburg. Amelie Herreros. Aubrey Jennings. Elizabeth Lazaro. Lisliani Para Toribio. Abigail Price. Olivia Reed. Elizabeth Spizo. Ava Mafucci. Antoine Mathieu. Nicholas Walker. Nicholas Fadden. Daniel Ducey. Julian Phillips. Joseph Mergen. Zushu Wang. Joseph Brewster. Trenton Burton. Anton Safonov. Andrew Hickok. Davis Knight. Robert Labarge. Alexandra Riley Labreque. Bianca Christine Mallette. James Schuer. Sierra Skelding. Molly Vitkovich. Haley Young. Brian Kurt Youn.
Owen Carmesino. Jason Giardelli.
MD Marjanul Hakwe. Trevor Howell. Noah Rebecca. Emmanuel Adelani.
Asa Akuli Stramler.
Eric Jackson, Domenico Lupi, Constantine Oskeeper, Hope Wamai, Mateo Gutierrez, John Parker, Sinan Zwayenkosi Professor and Lovu, Joydip Paul, Jaden Lucas, Christopher Barrett Seitz, Jun Kwang, Safal Pathak, Mehmet Taha Bekar, Alexander Krupka,
James Lown,
Amar Maksumik, Ashton Ropp, Aidan Rosenblatt, Jaden Tompkins, Gabriela Croder Colado, Jamie Draper, Andrew Erickson, Timothy Hunt, Sheikh Mridula Koishi, Jaden Lem, Armando Mora, Edgar Emanuel Muniz Morales, Chakrika Pagadala, Joseph Pizzimenti, Amber Kavanaugh, James Cunningham, Diane Screen Williams, Aaron Wooten, Mahima Sasikumar, Konchuk Win, Kyle Young, Kendall Gordinier, Afia Ibnat Subah,
I would like to now present to you Henry Hansen, the president of the class of 2026.
Good morning, folks. My name is Henry Hansen, and I'm proud to have served as the class of 2026 president for the last 2 years, and to have been a member of the class of 2026 for the past 4. We hear all the time how we're the biggest class in RPI history, and as proud as I am to be a part of it, I hope for that to be remembered as the least interesting fact about us. We're our own best advocates here, and there's much more we can say for ourselves. And that's because we were the first class to take part in what will be remembered as RPI's modern renaissance. We've seen this school both physically and organizationally change over the past 4 years, and at every step of the way, we've made our voices heard in order to influence those changes. President Schmidt gets to consider himself one of us, having started his own freshman year as president of RPI the same year we did. and it's our class whose experiences and feedback have helped him and the administration the most. So what we really are throughout all this is the strongest class in RPI history. And that's what we should be telling people years from now. Except for maybe the class of 2022, who had to deal with COVID and Arch at the same time, we're the class who's had to step up and support each other the most throughout a changing school and a changing world beyond it. And I know this because I've spent most of my time here on the receiving end of that support. This school is hard, far harder than I could have ever imagined, and it's taken everything I've had to push myself and adapt to what the high quality of education here demands, even if that's meant passing a few classes on the second try. With that said, I have to confess at this time that I am not graduating today. I still have an extra semester to go, and I hope that elevates for your friends, family, and the world beyond what an achievement it is to graduate from this place, no matter the challenges you've dealt with on the way there. I would never have made it if not for the solidarity of my class. And I'm thankful that I can carry that with me forever and consider each and every one of you a friend. I'll catch up with all of you soon. Congratulations, class of 2026. May the force be with you, and let's go Red!
Well, Henry, selfishly, I'm glad you're going to be around for another semester because it was great to see you.
Me too. All right. President Schmidt. The candidates to be introduced have completed the academic requirements for the bachelor's degree as prescribed by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees. They have pursued studies in the schools of architecture, humanities, arts, and social sciences, business and management, science, and engineering. They will be all presented by the deans of our 5 schools.
I'd now like to ask Professor Evan Douglas, Dean of the School of Architecture, to come forward and present the graduates.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degrees in architecture please rise? And they have. Architecture is the enduring testament of civilization, the place where art, science, technology, and our collective imagination converge. Today we honor the next generation of architects entrusted to imagine and shape a more humane, resilient, and ecologically responsive world. President Schmidt, I have the honor to present the School of Architecture candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Architecture. President Schmidt, the candidates standing have completed the requirements of the university, and the faculty recommends them to you for the bachelor's degree in their respective fields of architecture. Candidates, please remain standing.
In accordance with the laws of the State of New York, upon the recommendation of the faculty, with the approval of the Board of Trustees, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of RPI, I proudly admit each of you to the bachelor's degree with all the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining. We congratulate you and extend our sincere best wishes.
Griffin Anderson, Ethan Ospiras, Michaela Barrett, Emily Isabel Bean, Yinglin Chen, Alisa Choudry, Terrence Clayton, Stephanie Koreizaka, Shannon Cosgrove, Jaden Ronick Cummings, Michael DeGennaro,
William Falcone,
Emma R. Gear, Kristen Green, Kyra Gregoire, Maimuna Hanan, Sarah Ishida, Ethan Kang,
Moi Kawakami,
Jillian Lin, Joseph James Liu, Tanisha Mahareen, Sarah Mahoney, Olivia Mason, Marcus Isaiah Morgan, Katerina Napoli, Carson Oliver, Aidan Olsted, Ivan Panov, Bryn Peterson, Sean Putman, Danielle Zakara Petway, Benin Pominville, Hiba Qureshi, Haley Rana,
Alonso Raimia Couture, Brianna Ricks,
Alan Rosas Meneses,
Nicholas Roscioli Barron, Olivia Rouget,
Zachary Schmaltz, Sean Shannon, Scott Sigmund, Ayush Singh, Mariah Speedling, Aidan Steiner, Liliana Summers,
Yi Young Sun,
Anthony Toma Endo, Javier Torres, Victoria Lucia Webb, Xiang Shu, Emily Zheng, Anderson Chi Han Zheng, Yurua Zhou,
I now ask William Gibbons, Dean of the School of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences, to please come forward to present the graduates.
President Schmidt, I have the honor to present the School of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science. These artists, innovators, and scholars explore fundamental questions of how we think, create, work, play, communicate, and interact with each other and our environment. They ensure that we keep humanity at the center of our technology-driven world. President Schmidt, the candidates standing have completed the requirements of the university, and the faculty recommends them to you for the bachelor's degree in their respective fields of humanities, arts, and social sciences.
In accordance with the laws of the State of New York, upon the recommendation of the faculty, with the approval of the Board of Trustees, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, I proudly admit each of you to the bachelor's degree with all the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining. We congratulate you and extend our sincere best wishes.
Savdil Ducret Santana, Viviana Estrada, William Stultz, Gray Downey, Jada Gaynor, Chans Anthony McIntosh, Casey Meng, Emanuel Simchowitz, Tiffany Suporn, Chloe Denuto,
Luke's Elliott,
Alexander Emery, Cecilia Fenstermaker, Trinity Gagnon, Naomi Gaylor,
Luca Gunter,
Gaetano Hamilton, Veronica Haslam, Zoe Puno, Grace Richard, Samuel Spencer, Arya Swami, Vanessa Bionda, Eric Andreasen, Jacob Aparicio, Sage Armstrong, Colin Jackson, Lokesh Pitamber, Jonathan Carlos Rada, Shashwat Srivastava, Hir Takar, Yuking Wang, Emmett Whitehead, Valerie Epner, Jenny Jimenez, Hannah Tischler,
Gabriella Rabi,
Tariq Baghdadi, Wenchuan Bo, Nicholas Borujan, Eleanor Clifford, Henry Davis, Loon D. Fulco, Ethan Dubner, Annabelle Ugui, Jacob Fariz,
Bastian Ferreira,
Abigail Fisher, Rachel Gates, Ryan Jabot, Nicholas Ho,
Emily Joquim,
Michael Konefel, Benjamin Kushner,
Zachariah Adel Ali Sands Madri, Christopher Malanga,
Catherine McLean, Katrina Moon,
Josuri Rodriguez,
Arnav Mukherjee,
Josuri Rodriguez, Edward Rupar,
Nithin Sathya, James Sullivan, Alexander Watson, Maya Zayas, Andrew Zhang, Ryan Cheng,
Sophia Duell,
Sophia Flores Weidner, Amelie House,
Ilana McCarthy,
Lala Muyi, Annalisa Nichols, Jefferson Pena, Kai Surlis, Mateo Ceriola, Chloe Choi, Caitlin Kay, Shreya Mahesh,
Elizabeth Ng,
Angelique Henriquez, Shafi Mahmood,
I now ask Liad Wagman, Dean of the Lally School of Management, to please come forward to present the graduates.
President Schmidt, I have the distinct honor to present the Lally School of Management graduates for the degree of Bachelor of Science. These are the leaders, entrepreneurs, financiers, marketers, and technologists that we have cultivated and developed, and we are so incredibly proud of them. President Schmidt, the candidates have met the requirements of the university and have done so in the Lally tradition, learning to think analytically, critically, lead ethically, and build with purpose at the convergence of business and technology. The faculty proudly recommends them to you for the bachelor's degree in their respective fields of business, in management, marketing, finance, analytics, and information technology.
In accordance with the laws of the State of New York, upon the recommendation of the faculty and with the approval of the Board of Trustees and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of RPI, I proudly admit each of you to the bachelor's degree, with all the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining. We congratulate you and extend our sincere best wishes.
Rebecca Abraham, Thomas Alexander Brito,
Anthony DiMatteo,
Allison Gorelick, Nicholas Guerrier, Samir Gupte, Ryan Hennick, Finley Holohan,
Joshua Augustine Jacquinet,
Adam Kaplan, Matthew Lang, Brendan Ma, Alexander Marich, Ria Menon, Elisa Oman, Kyle Paulson, Grace Peckham, Ty Joseph Rooney, David Smith, Hei Tan, Anushri Uni, Rohan Vaidya, David Valchik,
Farah Frema Ajiman,
Shriram Amu, Gemma Beatty, Sabrina Baudouin, ZC Blades, Caden Caron, Chris Choi, Alexis Donatiu, Clyde Davis Jr., James Delforti, Julian D. Rado,
Sidney Douglin, R.J. Encarnacion,
Christopher Faunen, Cortez Garrett, Noah Gecht, Samuel Gibbons, Sean Hardy, Timothy Haskell, Andrea Hernandez, Alexandra Hitchcock, Guilhem Horner, Nabila Hussein, Christina Jensen, Winston Larte, Ryan Lee, Jack Mailberg, Cooper Manzi, Claire Iwelumo, Dylan Matchett, Lucas Mata,
Sophia Mazzarello,
Tyler McWeeny, John Malloy, Ryan Monfort, Jade Moynihan, Marco Olavaria, Shivani Patel, Brady Pitcher, Jaden Potter, Tyler Ruffini,
Jack Skepagurcio,
Leo Scharf,
Sashank Saker,
Megan Shipley, Benjamin Shockett, Christian Simpson, Sean Smith, Raphael Steiner,
Nathan Terry Boateng,
Kylie Toy, Dovar Tinling, Zachariah Toland, Alex Vasiliou, Michael White, Paisley Nicholson, Zoha Ahmed,
Felipe Alves,
Gabrielle Becerra, Isaiah DeWitt,
Hayden Charles Diver,
Yara Hossein, Sherry Huang, Justin Isaac, Andrew Jung, Heman Kola, Shreya Kumar, Edward Lee, Sophia Lin, Jake Mandel,
Dur-e-Shahwar Mahmood,
Sean Morrison, Morgan Myers,
Alex Nadia,
Rahul Rothnam, Robert Reddington, Micah Schuler, Felix Tian, Adam Todd, Rebecca Tsekhanovsky, Sophia Turnbow, Matthew Voinovich, Stephen Wright, Emmanuel Yeboah, Carlos Garcia Soto,
Joshua Dahlia.
I now ask Stephen Tate, Dean of the School of Science, to please come forward to present the graduates.
Will candidates for bachelor's degrees in the School of Science please stand? President Schmidt, I have the honor to present the candidates of the School of Science for the Bachelor of Science degree. The education of these candidates has gone far beyond the classroom. Their research, calculations, experiments, internships, and collaborative projects have already had an impact on science, and we know that they are ready to continue to change the world. President Schmidt, the candidates standing have completed the requirements of the university, and the faculty recommend them to you for the bachelor's degree in their respective fields of science.
In accordance with the laws of the State of New York, upon the recommendation of the faculty, with the approval of the Board of Trustees, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of RPI, I proudly admit each of you to the bachelor's degree with all the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining. We congratulate you and extend our sincerest best wishes.
Madison Brooks, Ann Campbell, Youngman Chris Choi, William John Kraus, Jacob Merida, Kerrigan Nish, Emmett Schneid, Jackie Song, Ian Stegan, Hannah Turner,
Chibwikem Ukeba,
Ezra Brody, Mason Butachi, Robert Peter Elefante II, Nicholas Freem, Persephone Hill, Grace Xiao Kilin,
Olivia Lafon,
Urvi Segal, Nehla Ismail, Hannah Leung, Pierce Leonardi,
Ryan Liu,
Anthony Roland, Tatum Traherne, Sydney Villa,
Gregory Whalen,
Rachel Hansen, Rebecca Iddy, Zoe Poli Lattis,
Alexandra Lishnev,
Kydance Leiden, Jonathan Murray,
Amanda Nebro,
Skylar Reed, Isabella St. Martin, Ariane Chatra, Danielle Suarez, Nina Srivastava, Anushka Upadhyay, Rachel Weber, Anoki Amara,
Ariana Valentina Benvenuto,
Julia Carvalho, Adrian Connor,
Riley Countess,
Alice Jo Ding,
Dave Dwavedi,
Grace Farmer, Diego Fu,
Tessa Jellin,
Layla Halpern, Tyler Hormuzabal, Vishnu Iyer, Sydney Kellish, Annika Mirabella, Kelly Modi, Charles Nahabetian, Hasitha Nimagada, Druvik Patel, Neil Satish Potter, Akash Raman,
Jayothika Raman,
Riley Rain, Sophia Claire Rotman, Tyler Scolio, Sarah Sedlacek, Laurel Snow, Kate Soret, Vibhu Subramani, Lakshmi Surada, Pratik Wangal, Satvik Vedantam,
Kylie Ann Sophia Matar Wendt,
Terry Wu, Lakshmi Yanam,
Ichu Kao,
Brianna Casey, Eduardo Galazzi, Adam Galt, Jonathan G. Carlina Jimenez. Petros Koster. Brandon McCubbin. Alex Malinowski. Caitlin MacPeck. Ian Murdoch. Elias Naina. Bethuel Sam. Jayashri Balaraman. Nicole Maria Bienas. Isaac Crane. Jack Foland. Alexandria Marie Klein. Audrey Frances Kling. Isabel McCall. Alexander Muto. Adam Abdalal. Munzir Abdelgadir.
Robert Alexander Acevedo.
Melody Adamson. Ian Ahmad.
Suyash Amatya. Adriano Andrade.
Harish Arul. Pragathi Ashok. Mrunal Athale. Cole Augusta. Tomer Avgil. Henry Babcock. Yashas Balaji. Ethan Balakumar. Jose Barbieri. Trayvon Barboza. Andrew Barr. Katie Bates.
Samir Bial.
Samuel Begin. Alexander Becker. Nikhil Belgankar. Cyrus Bello. Fabio Benavides. Eden Bendheim. Liam Beresford. Elena Berman. Carter Bertolini.
James Bialis.
Julian Blanco.
Daniel Blumkind.
Andrew Bodmer. Gerald Bonifacio. Aditya Borkar. Ritika Brahmadesam.
Sebastian Brand.
William Broadwell. Ali Brooks. Joshua Brunshane. Paul Bruzzi. Matthew Balbui. Nicholas Busaba. Ajay Bayaji.
Stephen Cadogan.
Victoria Kai. Lima Caravan. John Carbonell. Ryan Carroll. Lorenzo Carta. Michael Cautela. Zev Sella. Joseph Seltruda. Oliver Sentner. Annabelle Chan. Ashley Chan. Edward Chan. Marcus Chan. Russell Chow. Howen Chen. Hoyuan Chen. Kai. Jimmy Chen. Justin Chen. Kevin Chen. Suji Chen. Vicky Chen. William Chen. Williams Chen. Shin Chao Chen. Thejpal Singh Chilana. Kyle Chiu. Andrew Choi. Sophie Clancy. Callista Clifford Photopoulos. David Coletta. Joshua Collins. Jake Conti. Alexander Cote. Charles Crossan. Abhirab Dasgupta. Jack DeChiro. Samar Dot. Hanlin Ding. Hayden Dinkin. Parker Dinsdale. Caleb Dodson. Thomas Doe. Vixie Foxwish Douglas.
Siddharth Reddy Ige.
Cameron Ike. Noah Engstrom. Kaya Ergen. Bjorn Etienne. Ian Gregory Evans. Anthony Fabius. Benjamin Fothrop. Tara Feeney. Sachin Fonseca. Jesse Gabriel. Brandon Gallagher. Ethan Garcia. William Chen. Raymond Chen. Celine Sum Yi Chung. Gabriel Connor. David Chong. Yi Chen. Jeffrey Cordero. David Chiang. Nina Christoph. Aidan Crossfield. Joseph Eric Fodera. Sean Kuro.
Kiran Das.
Anthony DiGiovanna. Dakota Erskine. James Fitzgerald. Anna Foodie. Ignacio Garcia.
Manasvini Garipoli.
Zachary Gestring. Nawan Gongwatsang. Stella Jaratana. Ethan Gerard. Eamon Glynn. Emily Goldman.
Pramit Govindaraj.
Sebastian Grammas.
William Gesa.
Cale Graves. Jason Greenberg. Edwin Gu. Eric Guo. Vicky Guo. Michael Halpern. Robin Haney. Jack Miles Hankin. Farah Haas. Youssef Hassan. Mina He. Maddie Henriksen. Summer Henson. Eduardo Hernandez. Demetrius Ho Sang.
Steve Holan.
Ryan Hong. Thomas Hopper. Ho Jen Xia. Christopher Su. Thomas Huang. Jacob Hoodnut. Tyler Hunt. Matthew Hurtado. Min Nia Huyn. Min Le Huyn.
Dominic Ayadavaya. Christopher Ayaquinta.
Eshan Ilahi. Angela Emmanuel, Colin Incheong,
Talia Jackson,
Arnav Jain, Anjini Jamwal,
Joshua Javillo,
Mingjun Jin, Yane Maureen Sophie Joseph Joasil, Nevin Varki Joshi, Mohammed Khalifa, Alexei Kalinovsky,
Sahiti Kamareddy, Arjun Kandade,
Nile Kapadia, Rumesa Kara,
Masha Karach,
Ishneet Kaur,
Sela Kent,
Jason Gijung Kim, Justin Kim, Isaac King, Leonard Kinsman,
Yashasvi Kishore,
Lawrence Kissling,
Joshua Klepfer, Ryan Kester,
Barbara Cotlin, Evan Kwan, Caden Kwan,
Colby Lairdeson,
Michael Lamb, Vincent Lau, Jackson Peter Lawrence, Benjamin Lee, Derek Lee, Isadora Lee, Ryan Lee, Rita Yuguang Lee, Rita Lay, Gregory Lemonnier, Alice Leung, Raven Levitt, Audrey Lewis, Ian Lewis, William Henry Harmon Lewis, Aaron Lee, David Lee, Hongwei Lee, Justin Lee, Ken Lee, Michelle Lee, Timothy Liak, Hin Yen Liu, Levi Lin, Nikki Lin, Nicole Lin, Roxanne Lin, Ruikong Lin, Gavin Liu, James Liu, Sophie Liu, Liana Lloyd Wood, Christopher Lowe, Elnuman Logman, Yanzen Liu,
Andre Lungu, Jason Liu,
Michael Liga, Trip Lyons, Vian Matzibecker,
Zain Magdon Ismail, Tyler Majewski,
Eric Mala,
Tristan Mangan,
Justin Mannion, Concetto Marino, Giancarlo Martinelli, Braden Mathers, Edward Matthews, Toby McDonald, Anya Mehta, Tanvi Mehta, Shin Meng, Srikar Mikilineni,
Marcus Moreno,
Katrina Mosquera Makovic,
Davin Murray,
Bulmaro Nava Kamal, Andrew Nazareth, Rohan Anand Nathala, Arthur Newman, Chase Newman, Jason Ong,
Don Wynn,
Dylan Nicolay, Jonathan Obus, Daniel Obolensky, Matthew O,
Philip Okafor, Star Olaojo,
Kirk Olkowski, William Olson, Ihuna Onyekachi-Uzoamaka, Colin O'Sullivan, Colin Pace, Nidhi Padmanabhan, Lucas Pamuji, Joseph Pan, Shimu Pan, Jeremy Pankow,
Parker Paragas,
Joshua Parent, James Park, Philip Park, Arth Patel, Anish Patel, Jaisal Patel, Jayak Patel, Satyam Patel, Zachary Payton, Yuqing Peng, Maxim Peterbergsky, Momir Petrovich, Ilya Poncia, Julio Poncha, Christopher Poon, Stuart Powers, Riley Prendergast, Ananya Punia, Hao Tian Chiang,
Zhou Wenxuan,
David Quintero, Tanisha Rahim, Dia Rahul, Calvin Ramaya, Pranav Rana, Mateo Rothgeber,
Ansh Ravankar,
Macallan Ringstad, Henry Robb, Benjamin John Rogers, Christopher Rowe, Jordan Raleigh, Devin Ross, Alex Rougebeck, Leon Rosas, Sagar Sahu,
Adam Sach,
Dev Saini, Diego Timothy Sarka, Aoyan Sarkar, Eric Shear, Drew Schiller, Troy Schiff, Karsten Irwin Schwartz, Jeffrey Shaw, Abhishek Shankara, Sophia Shen, Sophia Sherman, Daniel Shi, Edward Shin, William Shin, Arman Shivpuri, Kevin Shrinoth, Zachary Silverstein,
Ronan Silvestri,
Peter Simone, June Simons, Ella Simpson, Dana Seong Sin, Leland Smith, Pierce Smith, Jack Smithhauser,
Swaroop Sridhar,
Solomon Starks, Samantha Steenbruggen, Izzy Stein, Hayden Stimpson. Emily Stomper Garcia. Jack Sullivan. Elvis Sun. Jonathan Sun. William Sweet.
Kirsten Zito.
Andrew Alexander Tarnowski. Matthew Tavares. Noah Sebastian Taylor. Ryan Tedaldi. Felix Teng. Sidi Thiam.
Miles Muse McKinley Thomas. Jason Tontut.
Vincent Tran. Corey Tsang. Ryan Tsang.
Timofey Tylik. Kalissa Xiaohong Tyrell.
Dennis Tsaka. Emmanuel Usman. Uchichuku Uwanaka. Darwin Vargas. Diego Vazquez. Yathin Vemela. Aaron Vercleren. Christopher Villanueva. Daniel Quang Vo. Victoria Voronina. Siddhi Yogesh Wadekar. Matthew Wainland. Rahim Wali.
Kelly Kai Wong.
David Wang. Florence Wang. Jimmy Wang. Nick Wang. Nico Wang. Ricky Wang. Jiwan Wang. Brian Wang Chen. Seth Watabe. Owen Wells. Alan Wang. Benjamin Werner. Cooper Werner. Tate Whiteberg. Kaylin Wilburn. Connor Williams. Darren Wong. Ethan Wong. Mason J. Wong. William Roble. Alexander Wu. Nicole Wu. Robert Wu. William Wu. Jimmy Wang Xia. Yu Xia. Benjamin Yankowitz. Tae In E. William Young. Ramsey Youssef. Hazel Yu. Daniel Yun. Abrar Zaki. Jack Zgombik. Chenchuan Zhang. Tingwen Zhang. Miranda Zhang. Dylan Zhou. Andy Zhu. Ian Zhu. Jung Zhu. Heather Zitzman. Milena Zlatkovich.
Danny Zhou.
Sian Zohire.
Ez Zawal.
Tessa Bossum.
Lucas Boucher.
Francisco Concepcion. Fiona Lam. Amelia Metz. Hannah Miller.
Veronica Virginia Novak. Cheyenne Sheffield.
Annika Seeley. Savannah Thomas.
Fenley Useta.
Maitri Bijur.
Sanjit Rajagopalan,
Ryan Snell, Alicia Marie DeNovo,
Zaira Arif,
Gabrielle Che, Thomas DePaulo,
Cassidy Dahl,
Jianchen Dong,
Campbell Dreas,
Arav D'Souza, Ezekiel Genchos, Aidan Graham, David Leo Green, Jade Gutman, Bo Jean, Harrison Joffrian,
Alejandro Lafond,
Jason Lee, Tianyan Lin, Elizabeth Lodinger, Haolin Luo, Evan McDowell,
Sterling Novoselsky,
Cole Noreen, Charlotte Peterson, Donya Roberts, Benjamin Rodriguez, Nicholas A. Saroff, Thomas Tang,
Isaac Wee,
Margot Van Esselston, Ding Shu, Hao Yang Shu, Zidhen Shu, Yang Yu, Newman Zhang, Zhitongdang, Yuchen Zhou, Espen Adkins, Samuel Anderson, Cecilia Arsky, Eric Baldwin, Nicholas Billsborough, Calvin Brooks, Alyssa Burtsev, Michael Cow, Aurora Sky Chen, Grayson Cotter, Angelina Dobal, Eric Dunnington, Tristan Elkins, Ethan Michael Fisk, Claudio Javalisco, Samuel Holmes, Nathan Leposki, Paul Lea, Owen Macalini, Himani Mehta, Donovan Myrick, Zachary Polo, Charles Rhodes, Luke Sanzo,
Megan Schlegel,
Emily Viero, Haoshen Wang, Tanner Weiler, Alexander Weiss, John Benjamin Wirtz, Emily Wilson, Ben Woods,
I now ask Shekhar Garde, Thomas R. Farino Jr., class of '67, and Patricia E. Farino, Dean of the School of Engineering, to please come forward to present the graduates.
Hello, engineers. President Schmidt, I have the honor to present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science from the School of Engineering. These engineers are intelligent, they're curious, and they're empathetic. They're also fearless and ready to take on a complex world because they not only understand science, they know how to apply it to solve really hard problems. President Schmidt, the candidates standing have completed the requirements of the university, and the faculty recommend them to you for the bachelor's degrees in their respective fields of engineering.
In accordance with the laws of the state of New York, upon the recommendation of the faculty with the approval of the Board of Trustees and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of RPI, I proudly admit you each to the bachelor's degree with all the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining. We congratulate you and extend our sincerest best wishes.
Patrick Aficio, Fida Ajmain, Samuel Arsenault, Noah Bennett,
Joseph Bolischek,
Samuel Siegler, Thomas Corcoran,
Sriya Darbala,
Hector Delgado, Ryan Doan, John De Leon, Sebastian Ninotti, Thomas Cornell Fisher III, Tess Garchinsky, Neil Gattiali, Cruz Gar, Michael Goldstein, Derek Goizueta, Casey Duncan, Isabella Hetrick Rivera, Noah Johnson, Pritam Kaur, Jonathan Kraus,
Ellen Lawrence,
Isabel Lurie,
Anthony Marchetti,
Evan Maceto, Jason Tyler McGuire, Toby Sam Coombs, Edward Morrill, Gordon Price Jenny,
Megan Greco,
Eva Mosquera Mina, Parker Murray, Christopher Noon, Dylan Ono, Tristan Pang, William Pollack, Lacey Priest, Elliot Kai Putnam, Catherine Rogers, Bianca Ryder, Nicholas Scali, Triansika Singh, Derek Smith, Joseph Dylan Sutherland, Richard Tardio,
Peter Z.,
Brandon Turcott Ziesman, Elliot Wilk, Austin Shue, James Abruzzo, Kaylee Aya I, Andrew Mark Babson, Zachary Blaha,
Peter Z.,
Garrett Brooks, Marcus Brown, Justin Cascio, Sophia Cedroni, Benjamin Chaput, Jordan Clower, Vittorio Kuman, Amit Das, Harrison Day, Madison Donskoy, Hadley Earl, Colton Farber, Nicholas Forger, Thomas Mason Forness, Shannon Michael Fuerte, Logan Gamlin, Thomas Golden, Hayden Gray, Claire Heinold, Diego Herrera Contreras, Tashi Jha, Rowan Jordan, Elizabeth Francis Keefe, Dennis Koruzek, Stephen Koval IV,
Jack Craig,
Alexa LaPinta, Miles Lafferty, Blake Leichter,
Cameron Levesque,
Cynthia Leong, Luke Lileka, Emilia Lombardi, Alex Lewin, Eileen McAllister,
William Friedman McPherson,
Aidan McVeigh, Caitlin Morgan, Reese Mount, John Neeleman,
Martin Newpower,
Audrey Bradford Needland, Neil Xavier Bezos O'Connor,
Selena Oiwa,
Oliver Julian Ordonez Ruiz, Gianna Pagao, Mansi Panwar, Colton Pechtel,
Roberto Crisostomo Palima Ribai,
Sarah Rickborn, Charles Romeo, Emma Rosenberg,
Maximus Alexander Schofer,
Stephen Thomas Schultz, Slater Sellinger,
Tasmay Shah,
Kyle Sharp, Nicholas Spinato, Rocky Suzuki Burke, Catherine Titus, Matthew Vernovsky, Phoenix Werba, Gabrielle Wilson, Leonardo Wojtowicz, Ela Wu, Sophia Yamanishi, Ryan Zommers,
Ayanmo Oluwabemi Sola Adeba,
Victoria Arts, Fiona Babcock, Tucker Brown,
Pierre Carcione,
Conrad Chung, Javier Bedoya, Joshua Chait, Emily Berg, Rita Elizabeth Peace, Callista Adorno, Jonathan Cho, Thomas Cho, Gianna Correa, John Crowley, Samir Chakravarti, Camille Ann Elise Duncan, Milena DeAngelis, Gina Eder, Kayla Edwards, Elizabeth Flores,
Michael Fraterola,
Claire Berry,
Kai Diet,
Carlos Jonathan Cruz, Patrick Eze Jr., Rachel Fuller, Carlos Garcia, Will Garcia Peralta, Sayukta Gosavi, Nadine Grant, Julia Gregory, Elena Griffiths, Diego Antonio Guzman, Andrew Harton, Ian Hayes, Lillian Hendry, Juliana Herbin, Cecilia Holen Kegbia, James Hunt, Kira Kaczynski, Ethan Kim,
Emily Lardizabal, Im Shi Hyun,
Andrew Lin, Kevin Lin, Theodore Luo, Catherine Lynch, Ethan Mathai, Annika Dania McWilliam, Daniel Montanero, Joseph Morello, Ashley Petker, Layla Rose Nassif, Rory Moser, Jay Mulmuli, Siddhartha Nandi,
Justin Mao.
Nicole Tara Narvaez. Skylar Nielsen.
Arjun Nimakaila.
Shragvi Nomula. Daniel Park. Nikita Patel. Kendra Patterson. Olivia Ramallo.
Malika Subhash Chander.
Anna Stubbs.
Nicole Reidenauer.
Lucy Reiser Mossgrove.
Tanish Roy Chaudhary. Xavier Rutakio.
Kimberly Salinas Sanchez. Michael Samir. Evan Sanderson.
Fallon Sanis.
Robert Santos. Kayla Savoy Cooper. Rebecca Shaw. Claire Shimo. Adam Silva. Bailey Smith. Carissa Smutney.
Olivia Spizuko.
Siddharth Srinivasan. Lance Stuck. Hunter Sullivan. Pooja Subramanian. Charles Tang. Catherine Teese. Isabella Valenti. Megan Waller. Ethan Wang. Turner Warren. Claudia Wolf. Quinn Wullard. Rachel Yang. Mona Zegel. Jason Jang. Ariana Aguilar. James Bartholomew Ajidua. Colleen Benta Akech. Zainab Al-Youssef. Brian Argetta. Eric Bossenbrook. James Cangialosi. Rachel Bora. Gabrielle Casey.
Samantha Loretta Cerezo.
Ethan Cruz. Devon Ellison. Alana Fay. Anthony Ferrara.
Jaron Ferrara.
Megan Flaherty. Daniel Getz. Joseph Gianetti. Aaron Hamilton.
James Kuiper. Aiden Karwovich.
Joshua Kim. Nicholas Anthony Lawrence. Brandon Lee. Emma McGuinn. Alexandra Mendoza. Emma Midkiff. Janice Min. Evan Mistler. Kate Moen. Hannah Nardini. Justin Ang. Olivia Ocon.
Christopher Passarello. Amira Salem.
Joseph Smith. Rowan Smith. Abigail Spaniel. Charles Spath. Evan Sweet. Annika Madison Treadway. Lucas Vega. Fiona Walker. Jiahui Abi Shio. Austin Yuan. Savannah Zarate Gonzalez. Chang Qian Zung. Catherine Abo Musa Armfield. Monsi Bonsal Iran. Liam Anastasia. Tyler K. Bach. Jonathan Borkowski. Liliana Bossard. Sophia Castellan. Emma Cesare, Nicholas Cerulli, Ryan Condell, Gwyneth Coyne, Justine Cross, Benjamin Driscoll, Cameron Dunn, Logan Dykman, Madeline Erickson, Kalia Evans, Gavin Fusco,
Aaron Gilbert,
Ryan Gilbert, Aiden Gomez Blanco, William Richard Henry, Lucas Haight, Abigail Hoffman, Eric Holmberg, Grace Johnson, Sophia Jones, Jace Krebs,
Marin Kupfer,
Laura Laurent, Nicholas Laviano, Olivia Leary, Vincent Liu, Sam Lonks, Sophia Lopez, Leonela Lorenzo, John Lockery, Molly McMorris, Gabrielle Montas, Gabriella Mooney, Maeve Murphy, Isabella O'Clair,
Wei Hong Oh,
Joseph Park, Abby Pettis, Aaron Frang, Benjamin Sepulveda, Amelia Shamble, Christina Shaver, Sydney Speenberg, Alexander Stone,
Tyler Stroop,
Sebastian Trenche, Jason Ewan, Matthew Davis, Abraham Alpuerto, Matthew Davis, Sophia Carmona, Timothy Blumen, Shamik Chatterjee,
Ethan Chun,
Zushu Ding, Fan Du, William Fang, Zachary Fisher, Paula Gonzalez Ramirez, Henry Hansen, Giancarlo Henry, Henry Holt, Andy Huang, Nicholas Josler, Rayhan Khan, Daniel Krupp, Conan Lee, Joanne Lee, Gavin Lesko, Eric Lynn, Evelyn Lynn, Kai Lind, Holden McNT, Frank Martino, Seth McKenna, Joel Matthew, Matthew McCall, Joshua Miller, Nathaniel Mingo, Diara Mitchell, Ihit Mukherjee, Thomas Mulvaney, Zachary Newman, Alisa Okosun, Charity Osoro, Pritam Pol, Kevin Raj, Jairam Rajgopal, Carlos Roy Moica, David Vincent Rowe Jr.,
Gabriel Sabin,
Vito Salvaggio, Danielle Shiloh, Ryan So, Joshua Suber, Curtis Sung, Jay Tang, Julian Tiana, Alex Tong, Yuming Cheng, Liran Wang, Ilza Weinert, Joel Wilansky, Haopin Shi, Peijing Shu, Mark Zabarski,
Andrew Zhang,
Nick Zhou,
Mikel Andres Acosta,
Kyle Adams,
Keshev Alapati,
Emily Barkley, Brina Bhagat,
Christopher Bialis,
Andre Bonenberger, Noah Burns DeMello, Darwin Kapani,
Talon Karsto,
Jack Catalati, Siddhak Chawla, Rithvik Chelasamy,
Fanta Cisse,
Anderson Corriero,
Marek Deck, Kamsiyochuku Dozi Obele,
Salvatore Ferrara, Cooper Filkins, Curran Flanders,
Miles Fortuno,
Anthony Frias, Connor Gravelin, Kaylin Griggs, Lawrence Hammond, Alexander Heinley, Joseph Hutchinson, David M. Jarvis, Thomas Jenkins, Amy Marie Jones, Christina Crystal Jong, Robert Michael Jordan, Nikhil Kaviraja, Jason Keene, Ryan Komp, Christopher Kerbiel, Jimin Lee, Edward Lee, Andy Lynn,
Jacob Lizak,
Taoyu Liu, Samuel Manglopus,
Ernesto Marks,
Daniel Maracino, Lucas Mazzotti, Maram Mohammed, Hussein Mustafa Mukaddam, Faris Nefesi, Alexander Nemeth, Owen O'Brien, Tyler O'Brien, Danielle Olshanitsky, Eric Ortega Cardozo, Gaurav Pandey, Sebastian Pandohi, Edward Piontek, Lian Ku, Miguel Quiros, John Paul Roberts, Zachary Schaubrook,
Avinash Seshan,
John Shaughnessy, Matthew Smith, Melanie Suditu, Sangeet Thayaparan, Faith Tian, Cole Troutman, Justin Veliu, Andrew Vona, Benjamin Vona, Shilong Wang, Xueyin Wang, Brody Gary Waters, Maris Wheeler, Emma Wojnarowski, Yunhan Xing, Chloe Joe. Emerson Zinu. Gabriela Barros. Daniel Berliner. Paul Cook.
Victor Garcia Gale.
Maeve Kahora. Hannah Masaki. Sophia Noonan. Haley Philbrick. Joseph Sandor. Chloe Sharp. Taysiana Smith. Mary Snyder. Grace Turner. Samuel War.
Daniel Jeng.
Ava Zingoni. Nayeli Acevedo. Gladys Gomez Chuki. Olumide Bamigbaye. Vasily Chasabenis. Diego Cortez. Yasmin Thabet Elmadi. Hayden Faraday. Cassia George. Eric J. Gonzalez. Carter Heacock.
Cassius Johnson.
Zachary LaFrance.
Abby Ledoux. Abby Ledoux.
Grace Lee.
Alex Mealy.
Colette Miner. Maxwell Anthony Napoli. James O'Connor. Henry Ong. Prince Joel Owusu Boama. Miranda Pina Oliver. Estefania Rodriguez.
Vivian Rost Nassan. Alexander Shulzitsky.
Kayla Tavel.
Anna Zuniga. Kylan Reed Terralong.
Sebastian Vitarelli.
Michael Wolniak.
Janine Alfe. Francesca Dominguez. Christina Gandolfo. Avia Dufek. Natalie Gavin. Ethan Hahn. John Hollett. Thomas Onishi. Nancy Wong. Sydney Yee. Xander Zoya. Oru wa kore de adeoye.
Joshua Aarons.
Marcos Aikman. Jaden Aline. Omar Al-Sofi. Zain Altaf. Victor Arate Garcia. Tanner Ostro.
Alexander Babanazarov.
Annabelle Beal. Cole Billow. Jobin Benu Daniel. Aidan Bradley. Annika Bragg. Faith Breslin.
Andrew Bravo.
Connor Brown. Hudson Brown. Michael Brown. Thomas Brown. James Patrick Bryceland. Ryan Buzzy. Anderson Burke. Owen Campaign. Joshua Cardenas. Ryan Casella.
Noah Chelso.
Ina Chan. William Cheng. David Choi. Matthew Chotner. Riley Clark Reyes. Michelle Clemente.
Bailey Cloutier.
Spencer Corville. Emma Crane.
Maura Grace Cronin.
William Curtis. George Cutrone.
Megan DiGregorio.
Austin DeLacio. Angelica Dimetric. Parker Devlin. Luke Dietlin. Alexander DiGiamo. Nicole DiPapo. Haudu. Liam Duarte. Tobin Durham. Juan Dui Ducci. Andrew Ebinger. William Espenshade. Joshua Canales. Brandon Diaz. Alexander Farquhar. Kyle Fairfield. Danny Farfan. Liam Call. Colin Lynn. Zaid Farjo. Alex Feynman. Eric Fish. Julian Fong McAdams.
Langdon Fry.
Hannah Freed. Benjamin Froling.
Kyle Fromer.
James Fanaro. Jack Gandolfini. Alec Garabet. Eric Garnkars. Anthony Garrett. Andrew Goggin.
Andrew Jervia.
James Godwin. Kate Goldstein. Tia Goodman. Benjamin Hutchings.
Adam Arachi.
Colby Grove. Michael Harkins.
Jason Haddad.
Benjamin Halpin. Ethan Halat. Ben Rowan Harbin. Kyoto Harrington. Sloan Victoria Hazard. Greta Ann Lavoie Heldman. Marisa Ho. Connor Holt.
Jonathan Inoue. Derek Jiang.
Ethan Johnson. Arjun Joseph. Luke Zhao. Noel Kakanatu. Elise Karanian. Grace Kaskak. Kevin Kearney. Drew Kerr. Paul Curry.
Eunice Kim.
J1 Kim. Joseph Kirschner. Benjamin Canode. Christopher Kotzot. Margaret Kreis.
Niall Kerhayitz.
Jonathan Lacosade.
Lyman K. Felicia.
Andre Latina. Brian Lau. Benson Lin. Nicholas Lipari. Robert Lavolsi. Gianfranco Loli, Skylar Long, Olivier Longkey, Jesse Liu, Tyler Lundquist, Jonah Mahe, Hana Song Mali, James Mandras, Alex Martin, Smith Martin, Ashwin Kumar Maurya, James Robert McLean, Ethan McCartney, John Davis McCollister, Joseph McDonough, John McNeil, Cassandra Daniela Mendoza, Pierce Minor, Nathan Mirren, George Moore, Kennedy Moredas,
Caitlin Moen,
Nolikwa Moyo, Christian Namkung Glauber, Benjamin Nardone, Alexa Newman, Jeffrey Newman, Obina Nabugwu, Jesus Noyola, Andy Ochoa Gill, Daniel O'Hanlon, Kwaji Okwani, Andrew Oliarczyk, Eric Olson, Grace Yuki Oyama, Aisenur Pamukchu,
Wenjia Pan,
Roshan Patel, Nathan Patterson, Giancarlo Paluzzo, Jason Antonio Papin, Donald Perpetua, Quinton Pinar, Alexander Pierce, Danny Polo, Sidney Preston, Travis Proto, Alejandro Provencio,
Theodore Race,
Akshay Rao, Arseny Ratnikov,
Aryan Reba,
Jack Reed, Justin Rios, Jose Carlo Rivera Martinez, Dion Rivers, William Robertson, Matthew Rojas Arias, Albert Rose, Connor Rothbaum, Charlotte Ruley, Thomas Ryan,
Paul Saunier,
Jack Saunders, Kaylee Schaefer Hood, Josiah Shemin, Owen Schnur, Sarah Schweers, Carlo Sereno, Zeev Schusterman, Jeremiah Silliban, Jillian Smith, Elliot So, Imelda Soto Garcia,
Ryan Stouffer,
Aaron Chapman Sukoff, Kanchan Suresh, Paul Sussman, Jekite Sheda, Olivia Termy, Samuel Thull, Julie Thomas, Colby Thompson, Isabella Tiesenchek, Christopher Tocco, Giovanni Turci Lopresti,
Noah Vamacy,
Nicholas von Plow,
Alexandra Velez,
Amal Verghese, Brandon Villanueva, Michael Wall, Alex Wallach, Matthew Walsh, Jinfu Wang, Brennan Weinstein, Calvin Welch, Dylan Williams, Ian Womack, Cynthia Wu, Kenny Shu, Christian Clayton Yamada, Jay Yang, Rix Yarbrough, Anthony Zarella, Noel Zayar, Xiaojian Yang, Ruoxiang Zhao, Dylan Zilifian, Glatany Anderson, Arthur Armstrong, Pietro Camarucci Gamba Corta, Catherine Dolan, Cooper Dunn, Clara Ginu, Elliot Jong, Andrew Johnson, Grace Mahoney, Addison Mulder, Jamie Murray, Tate Ottenstein, Keely Rose, Sophie Rose,
Owner Taishi,
Isadora Turbeck,
Jose Ignacio Vega Caraballo,
Jimmy Ward, Luke Watson,
Well, that was easy. I would like to ask Donald Bergio, class of 1989, president of the Rensselaer Alumni Association, to come forward and welcome the class of 2026 to the distinguished ranks of the RPI alumni and alumnae.
Thank you, President Schmidt. It's been 37 years since I crossed this stage. Back then, my biggest concern was passing all my finals so I can graduate. Today, it's whether AI is going to erase all my devices. But one thing hasn't changed. RPI turned out to be a great investment. But enough about me. Today is about you, the graduates, your families, and the future you're about to disrupt, and hopefully in a good way. The Rensselaer Alumni Association, or RAA, was founded in 1869. As a nonprofit, it exists to keep you, the newly minted alumni, connected for life. And the best part? We already registered you all as lifetime members. No forms, no fees, no fuss. Your benefits started the second you crossed this stage. You now join a global network of over 112,000 alumni, innovators, problem solvers, and people who still argue about what was the hardest course at RPI. One easy way to stay involved after you graduate is through the Young Alumni Council, or YAC, which is for graduates 0 to 10 years out. It's a great way to keep in touch while building your network. And I'm told there is a Discord channel, something I'm absolutely not qualified to explain. Furthermore, wherever you go in the world, there is also likely an RAA regional chapter, These chapters offer networking events, professional development opportunities, and social gatherings to keep you engaged with RPI and your fellow graduates, those who will instantly understand you. And if there isn't a chapter nearby, we'll help you start one, because RPI alumni like to build things. Also, check your diploma insert for other ways to stay connected. We'll also stay in touch through email, not too much, but just enough to remind you that wherever life takes you, the RPI alumni community is with you. So as they say, be brief, be bold, be gone. And with that, congratulations on your graduation, and let me be the first to welcome you to the RAA. We can't wait to see what you'll do next. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. This is great. We're all fellow alumni now. The world is waiting for you, class of 2026. Good luck, go to it, and my warmest wishes go with all of you. Our commencement exercises are concluded. Please join us for the picnic at the 86 Field in Hassan Quad. I'm going to ask that you rise now to join in singing our alma mater and remain in your place so that the folks up here can get out before you start leaving. Thank you.
Kind of soft? Yeah. Well, already played my own running. 1, 2.